Hey, what's up?
Hey, we are back again on a Tuesday night for this next topic of discussion.
hmm We want to just keep these discussions going. And tonight, what we talking about, Aya?
Tonight, we are going to be discussing sisterhood in the many layers of that. But what is sisterhood and do you feel it exists?
Mm, that's
Mm,
deep.
all right, let me see. Let me pull this up here on this screen. Let me see if I can share my screen. Mm-mm. I'm looking for the tab. Where is that tab at? Here we go. All right.
Okay, here we go. The definition of sisterhood. We want to start it off with the facts and the definition. The definition of sisterhood: A, the state of being a sister. B, sisterly relationship. Two, a community or society of sisters, especially a society of women in a religious order. Three, the solidarity of women based on shared conditions, experiences, or concerns.
That's
That's
I
what
like.
the dictionary says.
I like the third one the most. The solidarity of women based on shared conditions, experiences, or concerns. Like that one for me meets the definition of what I feel sisters should be.
I agree, Aya. You know, when you think about sisterhood, one of the things that you think about is a bonding
Mm-hmm.
of women. Specifically, because this is Convos for Black women, we
Mm-hmm.
talk about bonding within our community. And the question is, do us as Black women, do we feel that sisterhood exists in our community? Is it still a thing? Has it ever been a thing? And what are your personal experiences based on that? That's kind of what we kind of trying to get at.
Right.
So there's a couple of questions, that comes to mind when I think about sisterhood. And as we go through this discussion and this conversation today, we're going to kind of examine some of those questions. And I think it will definitely spark a real good conversation.
I don't know why that song's in my head because when I think about I don't know why, because it has really has nothing to do with sisterhood at all. But I keep on thinking of that song, that Brandy song, Best Friend. I'll be there for you when you go. I keep on thinking that song, like the breakdown. Don't know when you're ever do. Like I don't know. That song was just playing in my head just now for some reason when you was talking. But
No, that's a good point, Aya. So to you, when you think about sisterhood, you think about there go my bestie and a testy,
yeah,
basically, right?
yeah, definitely. I just feel like it's somebody who is there for you. Like first of all, it's just like another relationship. All relationships don't have to be romantic. So the same care and the same level of concern and all that you all pour into these romantic relationships, I feel the same way when it comes to platonic and friendships. Like any relationship, you should use that same level as the basis for what you do with it. So I feel like sisterhood should be a bond between sisters. It should be a show of solidarity. Of course, y'all not always going to get along. Y'all not always going to see eye to eye, but y'all should be able to come together. Y'all should always have each other's best interests at heart, no matter what. And there is no room for like jealousy or cat fighting, which we all seem to do as women, and things
Mm-mm-mm.
like that. Like I want to see all of my Black women succeed and excel.
I agree. I tell you, one of the things that hit home when you said that is it's like a relationship, even like any other relationship that's a romantic relationship. What? Break up with your best friend, honey, and see how much drama that'll be. Now, y'all know we
Mhm.
have seen best friends break up.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only that, like I don't understand why it's so easy to discard and break up with friends anyways. Like you'll break up with a friend over something, over the stupidest, pettiest thing
Mhm.
before you break up with a cheating man.
Mm. How about that could break up your friendship? A cheating
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that too.
Hmm.
Like don't tell your friend the truth or don't speak on it. Don't better be like
Mhm.
they'll break up with you so fast, they'll kick you to the like you'll be over there on the side of the curb.
So, one of the first questions that I wanted to pose was, what is sisterhood to you?
I answered my question. Sisterhood to me,
Well, go ahead.
sisterhood to me is definitely it should be just like a community, no, not a community, but sisterhood should be like that pact, that unbreakable bond. Like, I don't have to be your blood sister for us to be sisters. Like, I want to see you win. I want to see you happy. I want us to be able to share with one another, come to each other about anything. Um, I want us to be able to have life experiences together and go on journeys together if possible, or as a group or however many is in your sisterhood pack. And it's just something that I don't think is often seen or had. Like, I don't think we have enough of these bonds that, as we know, especially now, I think I've come to the realization as an older woman, it's very important to have those relationships with women.
Mhm. Beautiful. Okay, what is sisterhood to me? Sisterhood to me is I can call you in my darkest hour with my deepest secret, and I can call and I can cry, and you're going to say, listen, you're going to be okay. It is, I agree with you. It is a bond. It is a relationship that should and you would hope would be unbreakable. It is sort of like a confidence. It's almost like a contract between friends that you have this certain um you have this certain loyalty to each other, that you will have each other's backs through thick and thin. One of the best bonding experiences I can think about with me and you, Aya, is the birth of your firstborn child. That was amazing. That was that was truly amazing. That is when I saw how amazing and remarkable and like mind blowing it was to see how our bodies can nurture and keep alive a whole human
Mhm.
and bring that human into this world. I remember I looked at my friend and I'm like, ooh, are you a G? Because that baby came right on out,
Most
and I was just
definitely
like,
am.
so when I think about bonding, it's like those memorable experiences that you take with you throughout life, and they follow you. And even if you have a disagreement with your sister, y'all
Mm.
can talk it out and work it through. That's what it is to me.
Okay, so before I bring you up, Aisha, I did want to play the clip that Taraji said about sisterhood because I think it was a good clip that we should watch. Give me one moment. And this, what was the name of that movie? You know, woman. It was that movie that she did, anyways, where there was the four scientists. Wasn't it four women? Um, but
Mm-hmm.
she was discussing just so happened to be sisterhood and how important it is. So let me pull that clip up.
Okay.
What you will see in this film, and I'm getting goosebumps just saying it, is that you see women come together and support each other, not cat, claw, fight, hate on each other for one role, but when you embrace each other and you stick together, look what these women were able to accomplish. They would not have been able to accomplish that if Mary hated on anybody in her office, if Mary got in her ego and said, well, I wanted that job. knowing Catherine was the only mind to do it, if she hated on Catherine, will we be in space? Women gotta understand we work better together. The power in women sticking together, we will change the world. We will. And until we get that, we're going nowhere.
So this is what happens after. He's like, whatever.
Hey. Okay, yeah, Hidden Figures. It was called Hidden Figures.
Yes, that was a good movie. I saw that.
I'm so maybe I did see it, but I don't think I've seen that movie. I'm so ashamed. I need to go watch it. But
yes, because she was working that math out. Boy, I was like, wow.
I really love what she had to say. Yeah, we need to start sticking together, ladies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so another question that came to mind, and I think we kind of touched on that one. So I'm gonna move on to next. It was what is your personal experience with sisterhood? Should we touch on it, Aya? Or did we kind of talk about it?
Yeah. Aisha, do you want to tell us your thoughts on sisterhood?
Yeah, sure. I got an experience. I'm a traveling respiratory therapist, and I went to this small town in Iowa. There's not that many Black folks, but I happened to see a sister there. And I joke with her and I say, "Oh, so it's just the two of us?" Yeah, she said. And we got to talking. She's from somewhere in like, I think San Diego or California, but she had been in this small town in Iowa for a bit. But she happened to say something that kind of took me back. She was like, "I don't really fuck with Black women." And I was kind of like, "Oh shit. Well, I guess I can't really get close to her." And I thought about it and I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? She's probably had so many bad experiences that her guard was up. And I was like, well, I'm going to prove to her and give her the opportunity to change everything. So when I saw her, I always upped her. I always complimented her. We got along very great. Also, this is kind of off subject, but she's a Virgo moon and I'm a Taurus moon. So I knew we could kind of get to that. Yeah.
Earth besties.
So we actually, so I'm no longer working at that location, but we talk on a regular basis.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm going to her wedding June, like the end of June, So it's all about you can recognize it. And I feel like we are catty with each other, but if you can take the moment to step back and be patient with your sister, because you don't know. I could have easily just been like, well, fuck her and this and that. But I was like, no, we're gonna work this out. I'm gonna show her a bunch of love because it gives her the opportunity too, because I came there, not saying that my rank is higher than hers, but I had more responsibility than she did. And so when I gave her like big ups when we had this code, because she came in there, I swear it was like Black girl magic. These other people were trying to do like code this patient, like doing compressions and whatever. And they were weak as hell. You know how naturally strong we are. She came in there and she got this woman's heart. This woman is alive today because of her. And I gave her all the praises. And, it's all about making each other feel good. So
did you ever ask her why? Like when she said she don't F with Black women, did you ever ask her why? Because I would just I just want to know, because I just want to know what she had to say.
It was never a time when we were by ourselves that she could be completely transparent, because I believe she would have been completely transparent with me. But some conversations I don't want other people listening to, and that's just me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, every chance I get, I'm like, "Oh, you beautiful," or "I love your teeth," or that blouse is really working for you. We need that because people don't always look at us as if we're beautiful. So if somebody not gonna tell us, I'm gonna tell us. We gonna tell each other.
Right, that part.
Right. Yeah. That was nice. That was a good example.
Yeah, that was a good example.
All right, so moving on to the next question to jog our conversation. Um, when have you built a strong sisterhood with another woman and unfortunately it ended? What did you do with their secrets or what you confided in or with you? That's what we gonna talk
Chill. I probably could tell. I probably could write a book. I probably could. I don't know if it's my karma. I don't know if it's in my chart. Aisha, you have to tell me, because I done built so many friendships over the years. Um, we'll be here all day, but yeah, like I've built friendships. Like the thing about it is, for me personally, since I'm so introverted already, like me being online and in this setting, I can do this because it's also a level of social anxiety that comes with being introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm like in the public, like in the real reality, like it's like for me to navigate that is a challenge. And I might play it off and like, have my coping mechanisms. But over time, and now, especially now that I'm the age that I am, I know that most people don't know how to take introverted people. They all like, even when I was a kid, it's like I always would get asked, "Is she okay? You all right? You good? Everything okay? You okay?" Like, yes, we are fine, people. We are okay. We
Like,
just
let them be.
yeah,
Jeez.
right. Just leave us the f alone. We are okay. Like nothing's wrong. We just like being, and it's nothing personal to nobody, but I know that that's how it comes across. So I know that we're not everybody cup of tea just because people don't know how to take that. Because by us being that way, I know to them looking in, it looks like, oh, right, what's wrong with, like, they weird, like what's wrong with her, like something wrong, like it looks like that. So upon those slim chances that I develop a friendship and connection with someone, and it's like, and I let you in, you're my friend. Like it's not no like, oh, we just hee I'm fake with you. I'm being a fake friend, like hee. And it's no, I like if I let you in and I'm starting to disclose and share things and get personal with you and like we're building this relationship, you're my friend. So I've had instances in the past, especially when I was younger, where I've made friendships and it's like once they went south or whatever the case, especially, and I could chuck some of them up to being we was just stupid and young. Like you in your 20s, you now know no better. Like hindsight is 2020. We're here now. But I could chuck some of those up to that. And it's like for whatever reason, it went south. And it's like, oh, okay, it went south, and now all your business that you done told this person is out there. And I never understood that because if you disclose something to me, Aisha, if you disclose something to me, that regardless of what happened between us, that's always going to be between us. I'm not going to look to then harm this woman, oh, F her, or whatever the case may be because of how I left the friendship feeling. I'm just gonna keep it to myself and keep it floating and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my experience of when friendships go sour, how you can see people turn and just feel like now in everything you divulge to me is for like I'm a right to tell all and just give it to everybody. And it leaves you
So,
vulnerable and exposed.
but with that being said, that kind of, if you think about it, that person lacks like emotional maturity. And that's
Mhm.
why I'm very, even with close relationships, if they lack that, I don't divulge any
Oh well, yeah,
of
you
my
gotta know who to talk
secrets,
to, right?
right?
And
So,
like that's what, like the more you know, because as you like we just be going through experiencing life and experiencing things, especially when it comes to interpersonal relationships with each other and learning boundaries and learning what you can do and what you can't do. And so now, yeah, discernment. I definitely have discernment now, but I think back then I'm just like, you know how Aisha, since you're into astrology, Pisces have like this rep for being naive. Back then, absolutely. I think I was just like so naive to the fact. And it's like maybe my signals wasn't on all the time. That hey, probably you shouldn't be telling every like this person your business, but I
mhm.
would anyways because oh we're friends. But like that I don't know. But yeah.
I find that I have had very long friendships that have ended. And one of the things that I can always take pride in is no matter how that friendship ended, I would never tell that girl business. Because when she told me that stuff, we were friends.
Exactly.
But my grandmother always told me, and she was serious about this, she would say, listen, that word friend don't belong to everybody.
Right.
Choose your friends wisely. She was like, if you lucky to get one or two good friends in your life, you blessed. You really don't need more than that. Honestly, everybody else can be an associate, somebody you do this with, somebody you do that with. I have always been a very closed off, untrusting person. I'm
Mhm.
just be honest. I'll tell you in a minute what you're trying to do. That's how I used to be when I was younger. I know.
Mhm.
And you know, one of the things that I am is I have my moments when I want to be to myself, but I can be the biggest extrovert. Like I
Yeah.
can go out, I can talk to people. I'm like, hey, da, 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 da. So I'll go out by myself. Okay. But my thing is when I think about friends and I feel like when you build in a relationship, a sisterhood with somebody, like you need to vet them. Like I'm not the type of person
Mhm.
where just because we're vibing and you're fun, I'm gonna tell you on my business. I'm gonna see how you move. I'm gonna see how much other people's business you're
You
telling
tell
me.
me.
So if
Amen,
you come to
baby.
me and you like,
Amen. Yeah.
girl, my other friend, I don't even need to know who the person is. My other friend got da 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 da, and her man did this, and she got that, and blah blah blah, and da 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 da.
Tell me about it.
I'll be like, if you tell me all her business, baby, you
Yeah,
gonna
or
tell
like when
my
they
business.
say like, if they talking about if they talking with you about them, then rest assured they are talking to them about you. Right? Rest
They talk
assured.
about
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
And when I meet people like that, I know from the jump, I won't trust you. I will give you certain information,
But not
but if it's something that I really don't want anybody to know, you will never know. You will never know. And it's just straight like that. Like I'm very fickle with who I bring into my heart and complete because listen, when you are in there, I am completely loyal to you to a fault. Aisha, I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. So my thing is, I really love on my friends.
Right.
And one of the things that I find that will truly make you my sister is I respect honesty and the truth. If I sit up here and I lie to you, and oh yeah, it's all good, I don't care nothing about you. But if I tell you some truth, even if it may hurt you, I'm telling you because I love you and I wouldn't want you walking around looking crazy. And you may not accept it. And I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. That's why my friendship circle, I keep small on purpose. Even though I may kiki or laugh or talk with a lot of people, my friends know who they are.
Yeah. And that's probably what that lady I'm pretty sure that's probably what she experienced. Because I mean, like I said, that's just like one instance that I know of, but I have like so many stories of that is where like you keep on falling and bumping your head. It's like Naisha, like you're not getting it. And
But
then
that's okay.
I finally got it after a while. So then like, especially older, possibly like after I moved back from Atlanta, I became like definitely way more closed off than I was prior
Before.
ever before. It was like you can become a hermit, especially from like I became a hermit. I became extremely closed off, and it was just like I'm not willing to make any more connection. And plus, I was old, like you said. I think one day you told me you was like, "I'm too old to make friends." Like you had told me
I
that one
said
time.
when you get after 30, it's hard. That's
Yeah,
what I said.
but
It's really hard.
it was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing all that. Now I'll go to like an outing, like you said, an event or whatever, and kiki it up with people or have conversations, but us becoming buddies and stuff like that. I don't foresee me doing that anymore. Just because females do have a tendency to be catty. And it's like, You would like to think that it's a stereotype or, oh, that's not always the case, but like 8 times out of 10, that do be the case where you have to always kind of like be on guard, or like, I don't know why we're enemies to one another when we
Well,
can just unify.
I'm glad you brought that up because it leads to the next question. So we're gonna elaborate on that. The next question is: have you struggled with creating a friendship or a bond or a sisterhood in your life? So you kind of told us your story, Aya. You struggled with that because maybe you didn't have you were an introvert, so you weren't really used to talking and mingling and slicing and dicing through a crowd.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So but I feel like there's times in your life when you feel compelled to tell somebody something because you need somebody to talk to,
mm-hmm.
you know? And unfortunately, sometimes people choose the wrong people. But can I say, have you struggled? I think a lot of people struggle with creating a bond or a friendship with other Black women. Number one, like you just, one of the things that I really, 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 really feel so sad about with our Black women is the competition factor, which Taraji kind of spoke on. If I come into the workplace with a whole bunch of Black women, I'm gonna tell you that's gonna be the most hostile, toxic workplace you ever been to.
Especially you being the younger one.
Oh, and don't be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
She
an
thinks
even
she
bigger problem.
cute.
Yeah.
She thinks she cute.
Yeah, I went
What
through
can
that a lot
we
when I lived down
do?
there. When I lived in Georgia, I went like, because up here, when you go to, when I was going into work and had office jobs, our landscape up here is like this side, okay, and not
Right,
this.
you probably the only Black person now. That's a
Right,
whole
it's
different
like a
conversation.
sprinkle of us, so we just be happy to see each other. Like, right,
Yeah, that's how it is here too.
but down there, it's like nothing new. Like the whole
Yeah,
office.
you come in there and they just be like,
Yeah, and they just start giving you
who
those
is
books
she?
and stuff, and why I gotta train her, and blah 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 blah. Like,
And don't even come in there and have no man now. Not in
mhm.
Atlanta. They got a problem with that too. Oh, she married. Because it's so many single women. Like, it's so many successful women
It's because it's the
here.
DL capital there, I feel like.
It's hot. Yeah, and then it's like, what did they say? Is every to every man is what, like 10 women?
That's what they say. That's what they say. I
Yeah.
mean, it is a very big population of bisexual men here. However, there's a big population of married men here.
Mm.
And I guess there's a few single men, but then you got to wonder why they single. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, but honestly, that is going on everywhere.
Yeah, that's everywhere. That's everywhere. It's like,
That
and
little thing
men
that's only in
put
Atlanta
that
is
in their,
no more.
men
That
put
is
that in
everywhere.
their minds too, and that doesn't help the competition and the cattiness amongst women, because men will for sure play that up and keep that circulating in the air, that if you won't, she will, or like, I could just blah blah blah. Like, they put that, yeah.
And
They
it causes, like,
encourage
we cause a lot of division amongst ourselves because it just, I mean, I really honestly don't think that there will ever be a cure for that.
Unless
No.
we purposely try to combat that. I mean, on a concerted effort to say I'm really gonna try to put myself out there, not just because I'm looking for a friend, but I want to strengthen this group of people.
Yeah, like this, for instance. Like, I can have community. I can have community with Black women
Hmm.
and not need to be your best friend, like your
Mhm.
bestie, and not need to divulge all of my personal business. But I can still have community with them and have your, like, it's even like, be like, for example, when we're online, right? And you'll be scrolling through a post. Let's just use Jada, since she's out there already, as the example. And you'll see a picture of her, or you'll see something, and then all you see under the comments is women going in, going. No, you know what? Even better, Sierra. Because for whatever reason, that's trending again, about her and Russell. Every few 6 months, it seems like somebody saying something about her and Russell, because they're so bothered that this man loves this woman and he's not cheating on her and he's taking care of those kids. He done adopted the damn little baby future. He got money and she living her best life. That is so bothersome to people, and they just be going in under these comments, and I'm like, y'all don't even want to see one another happy. That even disturbs your spirit to see one another happy.
I mean, unfortunately, a miserable, bitter Black woman is like, woo, she ain't never gonna be happy for nobody. We all
But
know we've ran across
make you
them.
happy, but you can't, like,
My
if I get
sister-in-law.
that happiness, if
We've
I
all ran across them in the workplace, in our families, probably. And I mean, in in any organization, it's always one.
it's just no need. It's no, and it's not getting us anywhere. Like Taraji, it's not getting us anywhere
Mm-mm.
to continue fight. Because guess who wins? They win. They win because they're
The crabs
banking
in the
that,
bucket syndrome.
right. They're banking that we are not going to be this strong so-called sisterhood that we claim to have. They know that shit. We at this point, I think we all know that it's like a fallacy. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist and there aren't some groups that have this true unique bond, and it's like they all genuinely have this care and concern for one another, and they all champion each other and help each other to grow and elevate. That's beautiful if you have that, but collectively we know that it's a diamond in the rough. It's rare to find.
I
You
mean, go ahead, Aisha.
you ever thought from a psychological standpoint why is it that we, because I think the reason that we're not cohesive enough is because we all want to be seen. And why do we want to be seen? It's because we've been ignored for so long. And so
Hmm.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that as you guys were talking. It was like, why do we struggle so hard like that? Why why is it that we have to have the best of this or the best of that when in reality none of that stuff really fucking matters if it's not feeding your soul and making you feel, when you look in the mirror you can feel really good about yourself and the decisions you've made, and it's like, I guess I don't know. It goes back to like the parents and shit. I mean, like parents and or the community building up the kids, making them feel like they're seen, so they can be healthier adults that can love each other and up one another without feeling uh, insecure. And I think colorism too is a thing for us. I don't know why. I mean, as a group, men and women, but for women too. You know how sometimes um, I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. Um, just I don't know why we are like that. I don't have a problem with anyone. It's just I I I noticed that my sister. I have a younger sister. She's pretty brown.
Hmm.
Um, and she struggled all her life with being dark brown, and I think that some of it, yes, the people she chose to enter into relationships with decided not to enjoy her, but then she also, I feel, created those environments where it was kind of toxic because you could always leave it when you don't feel well, but then she blamed it on her dark brown skin.
I think it's like, if we talking psychological, it's a lot that goes into that. And it's also what you was telling me about as well. Misogynoir is misogynoir, okay, is the hatred for Black women. And unfortunately, you would think that it only hits and affects men, but it hits and affects women as well. Like, women also display misogynoir all the time. Like, they just go against one another for whatever reason. I don't know. They go against one another They never have your back on anything. They're the type of women who, like I said, so we can make it relatable. When the R. Kelly stuff was going on, I seen, oh, those girls knew what they were doing. Those girls, they was being grown. They was being. How many times have we heard from the older women when we was younger, like, you out there being fast, you out there being grown, and it's like you might not have been out there doing a lick of nothing.
Right.
But because you are maturing like you're supposed to and developing, automatically you out there being grown. You out there being fast. Y'all out there. And I would just see that on these posts and I would be like, Lord forbid any young girl is like looking at this stuff. Y'all have to be mindful because they're also on here and taking this and seeing it coming from someone who's supposed to look just like them. And they're seeing y'all accusing them of all of this stuff, like, oh, they asked for it and they like, I don't know, it's just that mentality that women are always going to go against each other, and I just ultimately feel like the root of that is misogynoir, and it is because they're just not used to being protected. Black women aren't used to being protected.
Well, I just feel like Black women judge each other so much. Like, I've even felt like when you go to like Black women doctors, they're even very like judgy.
Really?
I have had that experience. I mean, I'm in Atlanta. It is a million Black doctors down here. Okay, like it's probably hard to find a white doctor down here, which is a beautiful thing. However, I have encountered several situations in my life where I felt judged by other Black women. I don't think that we are as accepting of each other as we are as accepting of our men and other things, right? Like, you even see family dynamics where like the mother will judge the daughter on everything she doing, but like let the son have a pass on several things. And I just don't know why we always put each other on the hot seat or hold the fire up to each other and the flashlight in our face, but we don't do that to nobody else. And I just feel like, yeah, that creates division. And I remember one of the experiences that I could think of, and we're gonna go on to the next topic, is that I remember when I was in my field. I'm not gonna speak about what field I am, but when I went in there, I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, look at these boss Black women. I was like in awe, admiring, like looking up to. If I don't tell you, they could be some of the cutthroat, step on the neck people, and that's how they got there. I learned that, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's probably why I won't make it up there, because I'm not willing to do that to another Black woman or someone else. But there's ones that will do it.
On somebody else's neck or just to like that. God.
All right. So the next question that we should touch on is, what do you think about females that say, I don't do female friends?
So I used to like when I was younger, I used to think that was suspect. I used to be like, I can't trust a girl who say she don't like girls, like she don't do female friends. And then I just got it. Like, ultimately, we all probably don't do female friends, except for the female friends we happen to have. And that the reason why is everything that we're discussing here is just so many dynamics and so many things you have to navigate. Can I trust her? Can I not trust her? Is she going to backstab me one day? Is she not? Is she a secret hater? Is she not? Like, you have to weigh all of these things to determine if you want to be a friend with a female or not. And or it's just too much, and you like just rather just not even attempt to make the attempt, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Even in that statement right there, though, Aya, you don't think it's possible that your male friends can have a certain, underlying issue?
No.
If you're making big moves and you're not, and they're not, you don't think there could be some kind of strife that they're not showing you right away?
No, maybe. I don't know.
They be wanting you to win, but I got a that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
Can male and females really be friends? I don't know.
I
I
think
have
it
a whole conversation on that.
eliminates certain aspects just simply because you're the female.
Okay.
Like you're the female.
I've
So
had great working partners with men. Like
See,
they're no problem.
I've never really had issues with like women, um like making, like there's levels to friendship, like you said earlier, um associates and friends and stuff like that. um I myself, I've only had like one, which was so weird, and I still kind of think about it sometimes. I got into like this internet like hoopla for about a week a couple years ago, and it brought me so out of my character. But and when I was like, I stood still for a moment, and I was like, this isn't even you. But I had got so far deep into it that I couldn't even stop. And it was like, just check yourself. Just leave that crap alone. This isn't your energy. This is not what you're about. So just let it go. Let it, whatever people think, let them think. Whatever this person thinks, let them think. And but I don't have issues with women, period, because I never try to compete. I just kind of do my own thing. And if they mention what's going on with their life, I give them props. If they don't have to, you know?
now, be like you never had problems like on that end, but do you think there was ever a time where you felt what do I want to say? Like you felt like
Okay.
no, not attack, but what you was putting into like a friendship or with a female, you wasn't getting reciprocated back.
Um, I have to think about it.
Like say if you're always because you said like I'm like you're a supportive friend. I've always been supportive. If she do something good, I'm gonna let her know. She wearing something nice, I'm gonna tell her, you look nice in that or whatever. So it's like I'm always rooting for this person, but then this person doesn't root for me, type of thing.
You know what? I don't even care. That part I don't ever pay attention to because I don't need their validation. I mean, my actions gonna speak for themselves, because regardless if they tell me I'm doing good or not, I'm gonna reap the benefits of my hard work anyway. You see?
But is that a one-sided friendship though? Because even though I may
I,
not need
I
validation,
mean, now that you like present it that way, I would suppose it
I know
is.
I have some.
yeah, like because even though I may not need the validation, of course, but it's like if I'm always overextend or not, I don't even want to say overextending. If I'm always extending myself out to somebody, and it's no problem, like you said, because I want to. But then say even if say the scenario was not that it happened, but say the scenario was I'm in a freaking bind, and so I'm gonna call up my friend. Cause surely my friend I'm gonna let her know this was going on, blah blah blah, blah, and like it's just like crickets, nothing, like nothing.
Yes, I know I've had that situation. Listen, it'll be like a friendship where like you
It's like
talking to them,
one-sided.
you telling them all your stuff, and they'll never tell you nothing about them.
Mm-hmm.
Or like every time you winning or you doing something great, they can never congratulate you, but you're always like, oh wow, I love that you're doing this or that. And as soon as you do something, then mm,
Mm-hmm.
I've had that
That
situation.
that red flag will go off so damn quick. It'd be like, ding, 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 ding. You going
Right.
down on the friend list, buddy.
Yeah, that's not your
Yeah.
friend.
Right.
And I think that was a pretty good discussion about that. I mean, I feel, how do I feel about females who say I don't do female friends? I understand.
Yeah.
However, I have been blessed to have quite a few good friends. And when I call you a friend, it means if I'm in a bind and I'm on like some chewing gum that's been spit on the floor and I need to scrape me up, you my friend. Because people will always be around when you're up. That's
Mm-hmm.
too
Hmm.
easy. But when you down and out, and they still stick around with you,
Mm-hmm.
that's your friend. And that's why that's how I feel. Do I do female friends? Yes, I do. I have quite a few. Well, not quite a few. I have a handful of women who I truly love and adore. They are my friends through thick and thin. Do they like everything I say or everything's perfect? No, but I would not have it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I look at females and they say they don't do female friends, I just realize that's a female who just been so hurt by women that they don't trust anymore.
And it's
Right.
like
That's what
trust,
I was going to mention.
like the level of trust is gone, and it's just like unfortunate. Like that is unfortunate, but yeah, it's like a trust issue, definitely.
So leading into that, what we just all talked about that, do you trust other Black women? Why or why not?
I mean, I'm going to trust you until you show me that I can't.
That's the safe. That's the safe answer. Like no, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
Would you let another Black woman who was down and out move in the house with you and your man?
I
no,
have on several occasions.
Okay.
nope.
I'm gonna say no.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. But it's like it's not because I don't like.
If it's temporary, you need like a little week. Like I know you got somewhere to go. You coming to visit? Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to say this, and this probably sounds, I don't know how this sounds. Anyway, the people that I've been in serious relationships with, usually they're super weird, and my friends wouldn't be attracted to them anyway. And
They not their cup of tea.
right, it's like, you know, the people
But
that I'm
somebody
attracted
saying
to are
like
so strange. So
I don't know, kids. It's not like an old saying. Y'all probably know, like back in the day, like a older lady might tell you, "Don't you bring no other woman in your house or whatever." But I
right,
Ooh,
mean, I
baby.
think that is true because I did have a friend that lived with me for a minute. Like she was staying with me for a minute though, like for a minute. But we was having fun. We was like, "Hey, it's a girl like that." We young, we had our little jobs. We was doing it. Like she helping pay the bill, so that's great on my end. So we was like, we was good. It was good until it wasn't good anymore. And
Mm.
the thing that changed like a light was a boyfriend. I got a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend.
do you think she could have been in love with you secretly?
No,
Ooh.
no. Oh God. Oh my God. No, I hope not.
Ain't shit could have
No, I hope not. But
been.
it's like that's what changed like a light. It was just like she started acting funny or like, moving around the house weird and stuff. And so one day I did ask her, like, why is you acting so different? Like, why is you acting funny? And she was like, oh, and she said something so weird, which should have alerted me, like, well, maybe it's a you thing. Cause she was like, oh, I'm just uneasy because you have a boyfriend now, whatever, and I don't want to get accused of anything. And I was like, well, why would I accuse you of something? And she was like, because the last friend I had and we lived together, her boyfriend accused me of liking him, coming on to him. You don't just get accused. Like something had to transpire for that
Right.
accusation.
You got in somebody's personal space. You said something. You kissed somebody.
And then that's exactly what happened. And that was the end of the friendship. Now, in
Well,
hindsight, I don't know if looking back now, I don't know if he was just lying or if it did happen. Or if he was lying because he wanted her out there. It's like two people now playing against you. I don't know if it was him that was being malicious, that could have been lying all along to get
Wanted you all to himself.
right,
Yeah.
or if it really did occur. But none the case, that is exactly what happened. Moving a female in your house, and then the boyfriend came along, and then shit hit the fan, and then we stopped being friends.
I mean, it's just always a very risky
Why would
setup.
lose a friend in? Unless, like you said, it was a temper. Like, listen, just give me a few weeks. I got this job. I just need to
Hmm.
save up for my first month in security or whatever, and I'll be out your here. Boom. Okay,
And what
bet.
about the responsibility of your partner respecting your relationship?
No, that's true. That's a
That's
valid.
usually a problem too. Like,
That's
okay,
a
my thing
valid.
is, y'all not gonna be sitting up at the table, kiki and laughing and eating breakfast, and
I don't care
I
about
cooked
that.
everything. Well, I do. I done cooked
Look at
everything.
them claws and cancer claws and came out.
Thank you. Okay, well, guess it's my cancer clause. But listen, I done slaved in the kitchen and cooked all the food and everything, and y'all like to keep
Yeah,
getting up and you ain't did nothing.
we kiki
Okay,
on that.
I no, absolutely not. If I'm going to bed, you going to bed too. When y'all ain't staying up chilling and I'm in the bed. Like no, so that's why I'm not even gonna do it. It could be absolutely nothing. But ain't no somebody just wrote me, ain't no woman moving in their house.
You
And
just
nobody
don't want it
moving
to
in my
even
house.
be something that occurs, Aisha. I know what you're saying. Like, well, what's his responsibility? Like, because I'm not even saying I don't trust. Like, I'm not saying that I have no trust in this person or they're gonna do anything with her. But why even bring it together? Like, it's just a no. Mm-mm. Maybe if I lived in a mansion and I was like, girl, no problem. You could be
No,
in that wing. You go to the east wing. We gonna be down here,
because they all gonna gather in the kitchen together.
and they gonna
Look
be
at you in the
Kiki. You gonna
Listen,
kick her
I
out
got a problem with that. Like, I'm
as
not
soon as
even
she
gonna do it.
crack
Like, the only
crack a
time you can
smile.
come
You
move
gonna
with
kick her
me,
out.
the only time you come move with me if I got a man is like, listen, you got to be like, okay, I'm moving out here. I need 2 weeks. I already got like, let me see your mortgage, your lease, and everything that's signed, and we can do that. And then you got to be on your way. And then like what Aisha said. I'm gonna tell my man, listen, she moving here, but this is my friend. Y'all could talk or whatever and whatever. But like, you just gotta keep that real kosher because, like you said, Aya, like any
Well, I
little
think that's
thing,
where
she
the
might be
funniness comes
tired.
in, because it's like she not gonna want to be too friendly with you, because then you're gonna be like, why you? But you'll never know what type of friend you have, especially when it pertains to relationships, until you see your friend in said relationship. Okay. So it's like you around, you want to say, hi, how you doing? My name is so-and-so, but you don't want to be too friendly because that might send off a signal or something. So then you got it's like two people walking on eggshells. He got to walk on eggshells. Like, oh, I better not look at the girl. The girl might have on some tight jeans and a shirt. Oh, I better not.
I was just gonna say some booty shorts for sleeping shorts to come
So why
downstairs,
even
some
bring it
booty shorts,
together?
huh?
First
Yeah.
of all, as a friend, so I'm like, I need to stay with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to wear anything inappropriate. I am going to be friendly, but I'm going to be friendly to everybody. There's boundaries to it because I would respect our friendship and our love, and I wouldn't jeopardize that. And I feel like if we are friends, you cannot, I'm not, I'm going to love you unconditionally and I'm not going to ever turn you away. So if I got a man here, he's either going to be right to me or he's fucking not. And he's going to get the fuck on. And my friend helped me see it sooner. Or, you know, I just can't I can't imagine telling somebody I love, a friend that is my real friend, you have a limited time to stay with me, or you can't come stay with me because of this man or a man in general, period. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe because I'm at this point in my life. I'm not a man hater, but it's like, you could take it or leave it pretty much.
But
Yeah,
but
get
in my opinion, sometimes it might not be nothing, but
yeah,
it looked like something, and then it messes up everybody's relationship.
yeah, that type of thing. Yeah, it might not be nothing at all, but like I said, you ain't never see your friend and that's dynamic until
Maybe
you
she come
there.
downstairs and I don't know, she don't got booty shorts on, but I don't know, like it's hugging her right or something, and he happened to look, and you like,
See, this remind me this conversation right here. I forgot what we was on.
Yeah,
Like, what was the question?
you crazy.
the question was, do you trust other black women? And I made the
Oh,
scenario
yeah.
about letting another woman live in your house.
Oh, you see, because you brought this messiness up. So, but this remind me of seeing those memes on social media, and it'd be like this sexy person in the kitchen, and they was like, "Say this is your boyfriend. No, say this is your girl," and you come downstairs and you see her like this leaning over at the
Oh
refrigerator.
yeah. It's like that's the most
Like, what
ridiculous shit
you do?
ever.
Is it really though? If she look good and that man can you be mad at him for looking, but then you still gonna be mad because you like,
Did you
I'm
go?
gonna address the person right there in front of everyone. Why do you have on shorts where I can see your vagina print? You need to
Well,
go
what if she
upstairs
just
right
got
now.
a big booty and it's showing anything she
Yeah.
walk around in? Because
Well,
I know people
I
like
mean,
that.
You know what?
she can't cover that up. I mean,
Like Aisha said, and somebody else, because sis, this ain't your house. I know you
I'm gonna
can't wait
just
to move out. I'm gonna hit her with that. I know you can't wait to move, girl, but this ain't your house.
right?
I'm gonna just say you ain't coming to my house.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
just keep it like that. Okay, but yeah, do I trust what you said? Do I trust other?
Yeah, that was just one scenario I threw out, and it's a real conversation. But I'm just saying, do you trust other black women, and why not? I threw out that scenario, but another scenario could be like when you do make a friend, how easily is it for you to trust other black women?
It's like when you.
Well, it's go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's just like any relationship. Like you develop trust over time. Like if I make a friend with a woman, we're gonna develop a level of trust over time.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like a relationship with a guy, I would develop trust over time. And hell, you can't really have trust them. But do I? But to put it plain and simple, the question is direct. Do I trust other black women? I'm going to say probably no.
I'm gonna say I do trust other black women. I don't trust every black woman, but I trust certain
I
black
mean,
women.
I
And
trust
if I had
some.
to pick women to trust, it would most definitely be a black woman because I don't have some
Well, yeah,
scenarios
well,
with
yeah.
That's
men.
what I was going to mention.
Yes, like if I'm in a room and it's like it's us three, and then it's them,
I'm
I'm
trusting
with
you all
y'all.
day. We gonna be
We
friends.
as a collective at that point, we is like, listen, we about to get through this together. Everybody leaving out alive. Like
And we gonna be at the lunchroom
assignment.
table together. Yes.
We understand the assignment. Yes.
But there is certain scenarios where like I don't trust black women. You know what I'm saying? If there are certain scenarios.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, then that's fair. So then I'll just say,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the same for me then.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's like I know in certain settings, like Aisha, when you went to work and you said you seen that one black woman out there wherever you were at the time stationed at, and it was like instantly you just said out you just was like, oh, you here too. It's a like a I say type of thing. Like I say,
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying? Like we recognize each other, and she just probably automatically instantly knew what you meant when you said that because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like seeing family. It's a kinship. It's like this
Yes.
family. So yeah, in those settings, in certain situations, we will come together. We will form a formation on your ass real quick. Don't trip about that at all. Like when we know the assignment, we know the assignment and we understand it well. In certain situations, certain settings, I trust black people. I trust black women wholeheartedly, without a doubt. But then in certain scenarios, it's just like
And
iffy.
it usually got to do with a man where
You know,
you got an issue. I
or
don't
even
know.
just them knowing a piece of your information, or just having information, or just not having your best interest at. That's what I don't like. Not that's what moreover, guys, I don't care about guys enough to care about that. But not having your best interest at heart is for me, that's the biggest one. And that's what I don't really trust.
Well,
You
That's what I really trust with.
if we talking about like if we really gonna make this a can't we gonna really call a spade when we're talking about convos with black women. We're gonna say that okay, collectively you could be an intellectual to analyze the relationship factor between men and women, black women and men of any race or whatever.
Mm.
But one of the things that I find that causes a lot of black women to be hurt by other black women is like when they're in relationships and there's infidelity and stuff like that and things happen like that, then the first thing the woman wants to do is go attack the woman until
Oh,
you
yeah.
until you mature, or I'm not even gonna say mature, and I'm gonna say evolve, because there's people who grow up to be 80 years old and they never matured.
Hmm.
If you evolve into a mindset that only your spouse, your man, your boyfriend owes you that loyalty, you wouldn't look at the other woman like that because she don't owe you nothing. But I will say that if that happens enough, that could cause a distrust, with other women for some people who don't have that mindset. So that's why.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But that was the last question that I had, organized for us. I mean, any other thoughts or questions you can think of?
I mean, I think for the most part, a lot of it is psychological. As a collective, I don't think we show each other enough solidarity and enough, like, we get it from so many different sides. We get it from, because we're Black, for one. So we already getting it from the outside world, right? And then we get it from our group of men. So we're getting it from them. And then we even get it from inside of the camp, and we get it from Black women. So when you were saying in the first beginning, Aisha, like, if anything, I'm gonna be the one to compliment you. I'm gonna be the one to say something. Because we don't hear it enough, period, as it is.
Right.
Don't get the compliments. We don't get the grace. We don't get like these things, period, enough. So why not do it for one another? I just don't understand that part. It's no reason for it. But like I said, the only things I can think of is the main issue is the misogyny
Yeah.
happens. And it's just like, because first of all, the world is already patriarchal and it's this male system, and it's like females are fighting for them, and the penis people, as I call them. And it's like, oh well, I can't, like, she's up like, or how you perceive it to be, she's up here and I'm still right here. Oh, F that girl, like, I don't like her, or whatever. I think she thinks she all that, or whatever.
A lot of projection.
Right, a lot of projecting onto one another or each other or whatever, or feeling our feelings of insecurity, and not addressing that yourself instead of projecting it, and a feeling of distrust, like we don't
Or just
trust one another.
or just straight backbiting and hating. Because we all know those ones. Girl, did you see her? She looks stinking, this and that and the third, and she did that. And like, we got, if we can stop doing that.
And it happens so young, so it's definitely, I can't even say it's taught. It's just something that's just embedded, and I think it is psychological, but I think it also comes from what we see and what's put out there already for our kids and stuff to pick up on it and to regurgitate it and to perpetuate it and keep it going. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, everyone is going to have like a little tinge of jealousy, especially when you're coming up. Everyone's going to feel a certain, like, everyone's going to have these emotions. Those are natural human responses. But then as you kind of start getting older, we got to kind of get it together. It's just like my daughter, who's in high school, she got her hair done over the weekend. And she was like, yeah, she feeling herself. She came home with her little hair. Now she got the ponytail with the swoop, right? And so she feeling herself. She feeling all good for getting ready for tomorrow, go to school on Monday. And she was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to go into this school, and it's gonna be these three girls. They gonna be hating. They gonna be looking at me like, oh, she got her hair done. They are in school, but she knows, because I got my hair done, I'm gonna go to school, and it's gonna be this particular group, and they're gonna be giving me these stares because I got a ponytail. That's because I got a ponytail. And there's
Long
no,
as they don't touch her,
yeah,
she
no,
better walk that walk.
that's fine. But
And
it's
my
like,
thing,
why do you do
it's,
this?
I don't know why are women threatened when a beautiful woman walks into the room?
It's the competition.
It's the competition. Ooh, look at her. What they really when they're doing that, they really are
Yes,
admiring
admiration.
what she has, and then it turns into jealousy because they wish they had that. But that comes with low self-esteem and a low confidence level, because no
That
matter
part.
what you look like or how you shape or what you got, you should love yourself and stretch yourself and not be intimidated by nobody else. But we know that's not the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
as long as that happens, there will be some animosity between women. But to bring it on a lighter note, I believe there is still true sisterhood between some women. I think some women support each other.
Yeah.
There are friends who have been friends for decades and decades, and no matter what they've went through, they still ride or die, support each other in each other's endeavors, and support through the ups and downs of life. And a lot of times, your best friend outlasts men, don't they,
Yeah,
Aya?
Baby.
all the time. All the time.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, that's definitely true. There is certain instances where, like I said, some people do have sisterhood, and those friendships or those close knit groups can exist, and there is still space for that. And I feel like, especially now in these younger generation of kids, I'm hopeful that they will be better than our generation and the generation before us, because they're not perpetuating and handing, like, they're not growing up with the same ideologies that we had, that it always has to be this competition between us. We can't just big up one another. We can't just like to see each other succeed, or whatever the case may be. And I lost my train of thought. I had a point, but I
No, I
forgot the
agree
point.
with you. I think that we hope that the next generation will be better. But all we can do is pour into them what we know, and especially you, Aya, and I don't know what the sexes of your children are, Aisha, but you know, tell these girls how beautiful they are every day.
I
You know
do
what I'm
all the
saying?
I do all. I have a girl, she's 22, and I have a son that's 3. So we are very close, and we have conversations about how we treat other humans. And like my daughter, she's very gentle and a very sensitive person. And
Oh,
this world is not very kind always, but she's getting stronger and stronger every day. And I just love watching her. And she loves everybody. She actually, this isn't, she actually got a chance to experience, like, how can I put this? Um, Someone was like fetishizing her. She's biracial, she's Hispanic and black. And
mhm.
she's like, meeting people. And this guy told her, he said, we would make beautiful children. They would be so such and such. And so, since we've had these conversations about how people approach you because of the way you look, she
Mhm.
was equipped with that. And
And she
she
knew
understood.
exactly what that was. Mhm.
Yes. And I was just like, this is beautiful. And she's out there big upping people too. Like, um, it's important that we encourage our sisters, no matter what they look like and no matter what this world says is beautiful. I get encouraged by her every day when she's like, "Ma, you got to find beauty in everything." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, this is what I'm talking about, baby." That I'm saying I thought that to myself, but
Yeah.
it's great.
I
So,
was
just
thinking my thought. That's what I was gonna say. I think that those that get it, and that's where the sisterhood. Those that get it. Those that see that is bigger than just competing with one another, and we don't
hmm
in competition with one another. It's okay to give someone a compliment. It's okay to show support to someone openly online, and be like, hey, this is check this out, blah, blah, blah. You know what's so funny now I'm talking about online, because I like we be online, Aisha.
hmm
People start to know you on the East streets because you be there, and you see the same people all the time, especially in our community. Like, we see the same faces, like we start to see the same faces, right? But you notice a lot of stuff. It's been so many times that so many people have, like, my business, for example, purchased things from me that's on my friend list, or
hmm
in groups or whatever that I've been in, and I just happen to know, like, oh, this is the girl from that group, so and so and so and so, that won't share it. And, like, why not? Because, like, I just never was that type of person. Like, maybe it was the naivety in me, to that I wasn't equipped, like, especially when I was younger. But even now, I'm just not that type of person. Like where I'm like, I'm not about to do that for so and so. Like I'm just never been that competitive type of person where I felt I needed to compete against a female. Maybe it is because, like you see me saying, I'm self-absorbed sometimes. Maybe it is because I be in my own little world with orbits. This is my orbit. I'm a planet, and this is all my other little planets floating around my head. I be in my own little my thing. I have no time to think about you or to think about you or anyone else. I don't have time for all that. I just don't. And if you do something good and I see you do something good, oh yeah, that's amazing. I'm gonna like it. Or if I do like, I don't, sometimes you'll see like I'll share like stuff like I bought this from so and so from this business. This is her business. I'll do a whole video review and everything for you, sweetie, for the free. I'm not asking for nothing. I just want other people to know because you are a Black woman, I'm a Black woman, and I want to be on. So I'm going to spread the word, especially if it's something that I like. I'm spreading the word. I'm letting people know. I got some earrings now by a Black woman-owned business. Her boutique is paparazzi ready. I'm gonna make sure I put that in the description box. But I just never been that type of person that was just like that, where you can't give a compliment or I can't share something. Or if you ask me to, like, you know how we get those things and it'd be like somebody invited you to like their page.
Yeah.
Like it, like the shit, like it. Like I'll like it.
What
Like
is
it's
it gonna hurt
free.
you?
Like
Any
it's free to like it. Like
exactly. Let me go and like it.
You
Boom.
know
There
what though? You ever think they don't believe in you and what you're selling or your product? And it's just that simple because some people are just so negative anyway. And
you
it's
go.
like all her little stuff. Oh, this. No, this little
Oh, that
stuff
little
keep
thing.
me
Oh, I
busy,
hate
baby.
that little thing.
Girl, I'm still using the rest of my scrub. I love it with my little mittens, but I
But
won't go into details. But you got great products, and you
it could
know,
because that's their spirit. That's true. Like they're not gonna do it anyway.
yeah, and and the whole thing is you should share it and you shouldn't even be jealous because you probably could never. I'm just saying.
right, exactly.
But
So
yeah, I don't mind helping anybody out. You need to know something. You got my inbox. When I see the inbox, it's like you be inboxing me on my other page. I don't have that messenger open all the time, but I'll answer. If you want to know something, I'll answer. If you want to know something, especially like about e-commerce or business, I'll answer. Like it's nothing for me to answer a question or for you to ask me something. I'm gonna answer. Like I like helping people. Like I like being a helper, a helping hand. I like sharing. I'll share reviews of places that I've been. I'm good for doing that. Like, oh, let me tell y'all about here. Y'all gotta go here. And when you go, ask for this. Like I'll give details down to the T and everything because I like doing that for people. I shared my surgery story last year. Now to a lot of people that might have been TMI. But do you know how many inboxes from females I got just from sharing that? Because I know it's taboo and I know a lot of us judge each other just off the strength of that. But the same people that probably would be out there judging was in my inbox asking me questions.
Of course they were.
So why
well,
can't we just like, I don't know.
support each other.
Support,
We
that's the
should.
bottom line. We should be supporting each other because it builds a stronger community of us and we need each other. We really do.
And do you know how much money Black women
Mm.
spend on beauty and body products?
Child, we our dollar, the power
What
Girl,
of
if we
our
could circulate that money?
if you just look at my bathroom right now, you'd be like, "Oh, child."
our dresser.
And
The,
don't even use it all.
the power of our dollar is mighty.
And buy something, don't use a little bit of it to go buy something else. Like, I mean, you just got all types of stuff piled on top of it.
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
It really is. All right, well, let me just take this off so we can do the takeaway.
Okay, dokie.
All right, so anyone wants to start with their takeaway from today?
I'll go first and be quick. I'm just gonna try to continue to uplift and take young girls under my wing to be sure that they understand it's important that we stick together and be a community within our community. and hopefully it'll, pay those kind of, that information will pay itself forward, and we could possibly see the change that I feel like we all want. So that's my takeaway.
Um, my takeaway is that I truly believe in sisterhood. Um, I feel that somebody can call another Black woman. You could call me today and say, "Hey, I've been going through A, B, and C," and you would just be surprised that you're not the first and you won't be the last.
Right.
And I just love when you do find that one Black sister who will be there for you, talk you through something or help you through something. It may not even be the person that you expect to do it for you. It is sisterhood in its rarest form. So I just say, what I want to do is I want to encourage other Black women. When I have the opportunity to do that, I will do that. Because when somebody encourages me, I want to pay it forward and I want to encourage someone else. I also love to, put love on other young Black women and even older women, because sometimes they learn from us too, just like we can probably learn from the next generation. So I just want to say that I hope that, these type of conversations will reach somebody who needs to hear that, there are women that can be supportive to each other.
Okay, well, my takeaway for today is that there is sisterhood out there. And if you happen to find it or land yourself in one, enjoy it and cherish it, because sisterhood is definitely important. It's important that we have conversations amongst one another and that we share in our experiences and our stories, and we trust one another enough to be vulnerable enough to open
Oh
up to each other.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the word right there. Vulnerability.
That's a whole
vulnerable
nother podcast.
vulnerable enough to open up to one another so that we can have discussions, because I feel like we miss out. Like, if you're not opening up to somebody, if you can't be vulnerable with a one, especially a woman, because like talking to these people, that don't do it for me. Like, I need to talk to a sisterhood. I need to talk to a female. I need to talk to a girl who has a vagina like I do, because I can't do nothing with you giving me advice. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like apples and oranges, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's so important for us to not be at each other's necks and throats when we know we need each other. Like,
We
this is
do.
we know that we need each other, and it's just like, just do it. Just stop being so bullheaded. And if you do have issues with opening up or trusting, or you know that you're one of those women who may have formed bitterness towards other women, or might need to check yourself for some things or behaviors that you've done yourself, I don't know, get help for that. Correct those behaviors so that you won't end up missing out on what could be something that turns out being amazing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
I hope you feel supported by me, even though we've never really met in person before.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? I think online friendships or associates is just as important. Like, it's just as they're just as meaningful or important as like people in person. Like, how many times a year do I might not even see for a while because she lives in a different state. So when people be like thinking that online relationships aren't the same as real life relationships, yes, they are. Like, some of my friends online, I've known y'all, I've known y'all since I had my youngest daughter, and she is about to be 9 in 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
That's a long. That's
I feel
almost
like,
a
That's a long
decade.
time.
look, I was about to call her the bully, but
Yeah,
like,
the bully is about to be 9. That's a decade.
yeah,
That's a long time.
yeah.
Well, that's what's beautiful about the internet. You get to connect with people that in real, like, if we didn't have this platform, that you would just miss out on that enriching, relationship. You get to choose some friends, you know what I'm saying, that you wouldn't have the choice to do if you only dealt with the people that were right in your vicinity. So I think
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Well,
All
yeah.
right, ladies. Oh, Aisha, next time, whenever we get an opportunity to do the astrology discussion, because she was
Aisha, I'm
Ooh.
ready. I can't
astrology.
wait.
I don't even know what she want to do astrology discussions.
You
So
done
I do.
have you done her chart yet?
I
UC's
did
chart?
my own
oh,
chart. I put out
I'm
my
a
chart.
lazy chart person.
Well, I'll tell you, I know. I'm a Cancer. You know, I'm on a cusp, right? But I was born
Okay.
at a certain time, so I'm a Cancer sun. My moon is in Aries, and my rising is Capricorn.
Ooh,
Woo!
you feisty, stern, and ready to. You could what we call it a scrapper. You can get angry pretty quick. I know a couple
Mhm.
Aries moons, but as soon
Struggle
as
with it
you,
all my life. Got to
yeah,
tone it down.
yeah, I'm a Cancer rising, Taurus moon, Sagittarius sun, but I'm
Mhm.
also on the cusp. It's like 29:55, so I'm like, I don't know if I would have been born later that evening. I would have been considered a Cap because my neighbor is actually born the same day as I am, but she's considered a Capricorn, which is interesting.
Mm.
Because I think it's
But
like
did
the
she look like
timing,
that?
right? Because when if I was born in the morning, I would have been a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Remember, I ain't gonna tell my whole birthday right now, but we gonna do that. We gonna do that. We gotta have that podcast. I'm excited, Aisha.
Yeah, I am. I love it. I actually every place that I go to, I kind of the people that I work with closely, I always do their charts to see what's up. I had a crew. It was
Wait, so
such
you just ask them for their birthday and time?
I sure do it, and I click
Do they
my
ever
shit.
ask? Do you tell them why, or you just be like, "What's your birthday and what
They
time?"
they they like well, the last couple years since the pandemic, it's become like a trend to know your natal chart or whatever. So most people already know it. And so it becomes a discussion and we talk about it. And then I like read their chart and then people love talking about themselves or learning more about themselves. And so we usually discuss that and but the tribe that I had at the last assignment, it was like the best. It was two black girls and then two other girls, but we all had things in common and we just vibed so well. It was the most hilarious conversations you could have, and work went by so smoothly because of it. And people joke about it, but there's something to astrology and how people interact with each other.
It
So
definitely.
stay tuned, people, because that's gonna be a podcast, and I can't wait for that one.
That's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Next time I'll try to have my son sleep and I can actually put on a video because he's been running around being a terror in the background. So
Okay. Well, we didn't even hear him, but you guys get together and y'all let me know how we gonna organize that one because I'm ready.
Aya.
Yeah, I got you. I'm looking
Mm.
at messages, but yeah, we definitely could do that one. I think it'll be fun.
All right. Well, it was
Okay.
great talking with you guys
Yeah,
tonight.
later,
It
ladies.
was great talking tonight. Thank you for
And
everybody who tuned in. We appreciate you. Please, share this because this is
Yeah.
something that we really should be talking about and we don't feel comfortable. So please share this with people so that more black women can tune in.
So, how can I share it? You know what? Do I have to? Can you help me with that later, Aya? So I can. I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna.
yeah, did you subscribe to the channel?
I'm sure I have already since because it's. I believe you mentioned it months back, so I'll double check.
Yeah, you
You just
subscribe to
go
the
to the
channel. Mhm.
you just go to the channel and share the link.
Okay. So
Mhm.
yeah,
All
it
right,
was
see you
great
guys
tonight.
there, ladies.
All right.
Good
Bye.
night.